Good morning, everyone. We're so happy to see you, and we are so happy too to welcome you to our first virtual Rutgers University School of Social Work New Fall Student Orientation. I'm Arlene Hunter, Assistant Dean for Student Affairs, and yes, I am the person who has been sending you emails all summer long to get you ready for this big day and the new academic year. I want to congratulate all of you. We're so glad that you joined the Rutgers School of Social Work. I can assure you, you are in the right place and you've made the right decision to join us. We have a great program planned for you today, and there's a lot to cover. We want to honor your time, so we're going to move this program right along. First of all, some technical details. If you have any technical difficulties, please ask our IT for support. You can find that information in the chat box now. One of the people are going to post it. We're looking forward to answering your questions, so put your questions in the chat box. Student affairs staff, field faculty, people are online as well to answer your questions as we go along. Remember to keep yourself muted when you're not speaking to the group, and for this part of orientation, you won't have the opportunity to speak, but you definitely will later when you meet with the faculty in this discussion groups and also with your advisor sessions. Now that the program has begun, we advise you to set your screen to speaker view so you have the best viewing experience. The views can be adjusted by clicking a speaker or gallery view in the top right corner of your screen. So moving right along, first of all, I want to introduce the Dean of the school, Dean Catherine Potter. She joined Rutgers University School of Social Work as Dean 7 years ago, following a practice career in child welfare and an academic career leading a research group focused on public funded services for children and families, including child welfare, children's mental health, and juvenile justice. She has a particular interest in addressing disproportionality and structural racism in social service systems. And of course, her main interest is leading the best social work program in the country. Dean Potter.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome. I'm Catherine Potter, Dean of the School of Social Work. You are joining a great community. Our full-time faculty, our part-time lecturers who are leaders in the field, our field instructors, 15,000 alumni. We are a highly diverse and a highly engaged community, and we're so glad that you're joining us. I know this was not exactly how we wanted to meet each other. It's not how I wanted to greet you. It's not how you wanted to start your MSW program, but humans are tremendously resilient, and we are all learning new ways to build community, and that will happen for you in this program, and we will be together in person at some stage of the game. You are pursuing your MSW at a historic time. It's chaotic, it's stressful, it's dangerous, all these things are true, but there is so much opportunity for change in times like these. Before it's all over, we may even get to redesign many of our social service systems in this country, and social workers will be right there for that work. We face two large threats right now, COVID-19 and its immediate consequences and a huge aftermath that is to follow, and the pandemic of systemic racism that's been raging in our country for more than 450 years. This is our time to take responsibility and to make change. Social workers are really well prepared for this time. We are focused on justice. We are focused on solving social problems. I heard on NPR yesterday in a really interesting thing about the nature of intelligence, a definition of intelligence that said it was the ability to navigate problem spaces. And I thought, you know, this just confirms for me what I've long known, which is that social workers are the most intelligent people in the world, because this is what we do. We're flexible and resilient. We're able to make a plan, then another plan, then another plan. You've all been doing that these last 6 months, I know. We have the skills to engage diverse communities and to partner with them for change. We see both the individual and all the social systems and have the ability to intervene in all of those arenas. We are prepared to build and to lead, and we know what needs to be done. So crazy as these times are, I'm a bit envious of the careers that you will have. You are the leaders of tomorrow. And I don't mean 10 years from now, I sort of literally mean tomorrow. This is a time for social work, for sure. So welcome to Rutgers. You'll find a fantastic faculty, full-time researchers, and full-time practice experts, part-time lecturers who are on the ground literally everywhere in this tri-state area and far beyond. You'll find fantastic peers and really get to know them because you're going to share a career with them as you lead this part of the country and beyond. You just got here. We're already proud of you. We know a bit about you and we know what you're capable of. Pay attention to a couple of things in the coming days. One, the School of Social Work is launching a strategic plan in September, so look for details on that. That'll be and there'll be opportunities for student engagement, obviously. And one final important piece of advice, communicate with us. With your instructors, definitely, and your advisors, most definitely. And when you get an email from Assistant Dean Arlene Hunter, read it twice. Everything you need to know about getting stuff done here at Rutgers will be in those communications. And Arlene is key. I just want to make that clear. And I'm going to hand it back off to her right now. Welcome again.
Thank you, Dean Potter. Thanks for welcoming our new class, and thanks for the plug. I appreciate it. It's true. When you get an email from Student Affairs from me, please, it's written specially for you, and you do need to read it. Thank you, Dean Potter. What a class you have brought in. Very exciting. Now I'd like to introduce another key member of the school, Dr. Patricia Finley. Dr. Finley is going to review the MSW curriculum for us, one curriculum for all MSW students. So I'm happy to introduce Dr. Patricia Finley, who is an associate professor and the director of the MSW program. Dr. Finley.
Great, thank you, Arlene. I also want to take the opportunity to welcome all of you. This is always such an exciting day for all of us. I'm sorry we're not actually meeting you in person. What I'd like to do now, though, is to start with some polls so that we can see who's in the room and get some ideas. So there's only two questions. So the first question is, I'm going to have you all answer this. I'm starting my MSW program after graduating from college within the last year. So these are our newbies. Who? Go ahead and answer that. Okay. Can we see the poll results, Zach? And there's a lot of us here today, so I'm really eager to see the results.
There's a lot of people answering still, so I'm going to
Wonderful, great.
And
this is like an engaged audience. Thank you. Wow. So no, some of us didn't graduate within the last year, which might talk about the age of our students. I know Arlene is going to talk to you more about that age range towards the end of our program. So know that if you feel like you've been out of school for a while and a little nervous about getting back into the game, you're not alone, and we have resources to help you. Here's our second poll. I have been working for at least the past 5 years as any field since college graduation. So we're trying to get a sense of who has some experience out there. Such a nice large group here today. I love watching the chat. There's so many of you who already might have known each other out there. Okay, let's see what it says. Wow, So over half of you have been working for at least 5 years. So some of you are coming in with experience, but there's still a fair number of you who are coming straight from college. So it's going to be a nice mix of students. I'm really looking forward to the new year. It makes the classroom so interesting when you come from such different backgrounds. Okay, so let me get back to my task at hand, as Dean Hunter pointed out. My objective today is to speak with you about the MSW curriculum. Many believe that being a good social worker is about listening and good communication skills. While this is true, becoming a social worker involves much more. We need to understand ethics, human behavior, social policies, and how to evaluate the evidence base so we deliver appropriate interventions. Before I begin, though, I want to acknowledge what the Dean said a few minutes ago. We know this is not how we wanted you to start your time here at Rutgers with COVID. It's interrupted a lot of our planning. But it's important for you to know that we are on this journey together. You'll be given a lot of information today, and you'll also be given opportunities to ask questions during this orientation, after the orientation, and throughout your time at Rutgers. Talk to your faculty members and to your advisor. Okay, so back to my task at hand. The goal of an MSW is to prepare master's level practitioners for ethical, evidence-based, and critically informed social work practice that promotes social justice, engages diversity and difference, and strengthens individuals, families, communities in local, national, and global contexts. So regardless of the format of the programs you are enrolled in, online, intensive weekend, blended, or the traditional on-the-ground program, the coursework is the same. The delivery format's different. Know that the syllabi that guide each course is exactly the same. You should know that we are accredited by the Council on Social Work Education, CSWE. Why is that important? Well, first, this means our courses and programs meet specific guidelines under the CSWE educational policy and accreditation standards. All accredited schools must conform to these standards. Regardless of whether you are at Hunter, Monmouth, Columbia, or Rutgers, we all follow these standards as accredited institution. The same is true for the format within our MSW program. Regardless of format, you are at an accredited school. This is important because you need to have an MSW from an accredited school in order to sit for your licensure exam in the future. So let's talk broadly about the courses you'll be taking. There are specific requirements that all students must take, and there are options for electives to help you tailor your program to meet your career objectives. Your decisions about your courses come by working with your academic advisor. For all students, the curriculum is divided into a generalist or a foundational portion and an advanced portion. Courses you'll be taking in the generalist year provide you with the foundation of social work. The courses fit together like building blocks. The syllabi for the courses I will now mention can be found on the School of Social Work website. In the generalist period, you'll be taking Social Work Practice 1 and 2. Those are two separate courses. Across those two courses, you'll be learning about working with individuals, families, groups, organizations, and communities. You can hear a general theme here. The courses are paired with required field instruction. That's working in the field with social workers with actual clients. In these courses, you will learn practice principles about engagement, assessment, planning, implementation, evaluation, termination, and follow-up. There's also another course called Human Behavior in the Social Environment, HUBSE, HBSE. It's a theoretical and knowledge base for social work practice. It emphasizes the psychosocial development patterns of individuals and families as they interact with various environments. Theories of human behavior pertaining to individuals and families are critically reviewed to understand the person in an environment and human development across the lifespan. I realize I'm giving you a lot of information, but I'm hoping these are little teasers so when you take your courses, it'll have more meaning. Another required course is Social Welfare Policy and Services. We call it SWAPS. We like to pronounce our acronyms here in the School of Social Work. This class is about the social, economic, and political factors that have influenced the development of the country's social welfare system. It's American history with a lens to help us understand why policies and laws are the way they are. It explores concepts about the meaning and purpose of social welfare, ideologies and values about the role of government in social welfare policy, the evolution of the social welfare policy over time, and the role of social work in the development of that policy. And we know there's a lot going on in today's news in the world. You're going to learn a lot about our history. and how some of those tenets are being questioned these days. Oh, and if some of you think welfare is just about a monthly check, I cannot wait to get you into my policy class. The next course is Diversity and Oppression. In this course, you'll explore race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, and physical differences. You'll also examine structural inequalities and the profession's commitment to challenging social inequalities. We have a lot to talk about in today's environment, don't we? In this class, you will look at the outside environment, but we also challenge you to look at inward, at your own selves. Knowing ourselves is a very important component of being a social worker. You will find themes from this class in all of your coursework and field experiences in your social work training. The next course is Clinical Assessment and Diagnosis. This course explores major forms of emotional distress in adults, children, and youth, including classification trends, issues, and models. The course provides an introduction to clinical syndromes in terms of diagnostic methodology, research, and social concerns, and their implications for risk groups. You will learn about the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, the DSM-5, which is widely used by mental health professionals. You'll learn how to recognize some of the major mental disorders and about the best practices in social work to treat those disorders. Moving on to Research Methods 1 and 2. Okay, so I either got your attention or lost you. Some find research scary, but yes, research classes are a very important part of the generalist curriculum where you'll learn about evidence and how it informs practice. It's really a critical way for us to practice in the best way. You'll learn to read scientific literature with a critical eye. As social workers, we want to use interventions that we know work for specific populations or issues that the client's experiencing. You'll also learn how to evaluate your practice to ensure that the difference you're making is intended, helping the client, whether it be the individual, family, or community. Soon the generalist period will be over, and during that generalist period, you'll be asked to declare what we call a specialization. Most of you will need to declare that you'll follow a clinical specialization track or a management and policy track. Now, not all formats of the MSW program allow this opportunity. Again, check with your advisor about this. So what's the difference between these two specializations? Well, clinical social work or micro social work helps clients change behaviors or resolve emotional issues to enhance the functioning and quality of life for individuals, families, and groups and communities. We broadly define clinical social work to encompass more than traditional office-based private practice psychotherapy. So management and policy, we call MAP, again in a pronounced acronym, or macro social work, works with clients who are groups of people, communities, cities, or major institutions like the state. They assist clients to strategically manage challenges through planning, organizing, supervision, and using policy functioning. Either one you choose, whether you go clinical or MAP, it is to help you decide what's best for you and your career goals. We're going to hear more about MAP from one of my colleagues in just a few minutes, and we'll be offering much more information to help you make this decision as you move into the new semester. After the specialization choice is made, you'll move into the advanced year of your program. It's important to know whether you go MAP or clinical, you still graduate with an MSW. Sometimes that's confusing. So as we look to the curriculum for the advanced year, now you're going to be pursuing your specialization track. The courses will focus on that. In the clinical social work track, there'll be advanced clinical social work practice courses. And for the MAP, there's management practice and theory. There are advanced practice courses, and you'll be paired with field experiences to help you learn to practice in that more advanced setting. So the other courses in the advanced portion of that curriculum represent the higher level of education as well. You'll have advanced contemporary policy courses that focus on topical areas you may select from. For example, aging, violence against women and children, economic justice for families and communities, just to name a few. The same for the advanced clinical practice classes, clinical social work with adolescents, or with children, or with aging, or schools. And for those who specialize in MAP, there are parallel choices for those classes focusing on human resource management, financial management, supervision and consultation, fundraising and marketing. The MAP students also have elective courses for the Advanced Contemporary Policy classes. You can see there's a lot of opportunity in the curriculum to make some choices, to really tailor this, to make this the best opportunity for you in your MSW program. Field education, as I mentioned, is a very important part of your overall education. We call it the signature pedagogy in social work. Learning to practice is critical in social work. We require a total number of hours that fall into the range required by CSWE. Again, talk with your advisor and your field advisor about the number of hours that are required per week, as that varies by the format of the program that you're in. We do offer some additional areas of study and specialization that are not required, but we are proud to make them available to students. They are not available to all formats of the MSW program, so again, check with your advisor about your eligibility for them. For example, first we have the certificate programs. In a few minutes, I will have the lead faculty from each of those programs joining me to discuss those innovative additions to the MSW program. The certificates, again, are not required, but they offer greater specialization in particular areas such as violence against women and children, aging and health, and the addictions counseling training program, just as examples. Applications for the certificates are due in late fall. We will have information forums in the fall to provide you with more opportunity to hear about those certificate programs. The certificates require that students take some specific courses related to those areas and have a field placement in the targeted area of interest. Finally, we offer dual degree programs, meaning you can simultaneously earn more than one degree in your time at Rutgers. In a few minutes, I will have a group of colleagues who will join me to review the programs we offer. We have partnered with other graduate schools across Rutgers to create these really unique and exciting programs. Today is about listening and learning. You can always find someone in student affairs who can assist you with class choices and faculty who are here to talk to you about the many options that lie ahead for you. Social work is an incredible career. You have a lot to get through, though, in the next couple of years, and it goes faster than you'll ever believe. I see students graduate, believe me. A few last points. Keep up with your readings and assignments and ask for help when you need it. Learn and practice good self-care. That will be necessary for your education and across your career. Be proud of your journey with us. We know you're going to make a difference in this world. As the dean said, we are proud to have you with us. So welcome to Rutgers School of Social Work. Okay, I would now like to introduce my colleague, Marla Blunt-Carter, to speak with us for a few minutes about the MAP specialization. Marla?
Thank you, Dr. Finley. Ooh, you said a lot. So I know everyone probably just wants to go, whew. I am going to speak with you briefly for a few minutes. So first, let me just say good morning to everyone. My job here today is to give you a better understanding of what the MAP specialization is all about. And I will be reading from my notes so we can stay on time. When I recorded a video of this, I went 10 minutes over. So let's stick to the script. Let me begin with the definition. As Dr. Finley said, MAP stands for Management and Policy, and the specialization is designed to build and enhance the skills, competencies, and knowledge of current and future leaders. MAP is meso and macro social work. It is nonprofit management and executive leadership. It is social policy and practice. It is community and grassroots organizing. It is administration, policy, and planning. That is MAP. So some of the skills taught in the MAP specialization are grant writing, fundraising, strategic planning, policy development, advocacy work, program planning, financial management, community organizing, management skills, supervisory styles, and leadership development, just to name a few. With these skills, you will be equipped to perform in a myriad of jobs upon completion of this program. Jobs like a policy analyst or a researcher or an HR manager Or if you would like to go into the political arena, you could serve as a legislative aide or a policy director. And then there is fundraising, strategic planning, and development within a nonprofit organization. Just a couple of examples of where you could land. When I think of the different jobs that you could have, I think of the graduates that have come through this program. I think of Casey, who's a policy analyst for the state of New Jersey, and she's a foster care advocate. Or I think of Camille, who went on to work in a congressional office, and now she's serving as a congressional affairs specialist for the US Census Department. And then there's Bill. Bill was the Commissioner of Human Services for 3 different New Jersey governors. He served as a leader in child welfare for over 50 years, teaching and molding many social workers, including me. So there are many places, the places you can go with MAP. But now that we've talked about the skills and what you will learn and where you can work, let's talk about why MAP now. We are experiencing a global pandemic that has infected millions, and more than 170,000 people have lost their lives to COVID. We have unemployment that is at an all-time high, and families are struggling. We have social unrest in our nation as thousands of people cry out for an end to systemic racism. We have environmental issues that are affecting all of us, and time is running out. The world needs macro social workers now more than ever. We are a unique helping profession, unlike the other helping professions, because we operate with the person and environment perspective. We are not only committed to the individual, but we are also very much committed to the community, and we must consider the world that we all live in. The profession of social work envisions a more decent society. MAP is how we get there. So I am finished with my comments, but I hope to see some of you in MAP. The world needs you, and I would love to teach you. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Blunt-Carter, for helping us more fully understand MAP specialization. Student Affairs will send out more information about MAP to new students this fall semester, so be watching for that information. Now we are going to hear about the school certificate programs, which most students are eligible for, but not all programs are, so please check with your advisor. We're also going to learn more about our dual degree programs.
Hi, welcome again. I'm Patricia Finley, the director of the MSW program. And as I promised, I'm here with my colleagues now to talk about our certificate programs here in the School of Social Work. So I'm going to start off by introducing programs by their titles and letting my colleagues tell you a little bit about their programs. So first of all, we got the Addiction Counselor Training Program.
Hi, I'm Leah Nauer. I'm a professor in the School of Social Work, and I direct the ACT program, which is the Addiction Counselor Training Certificate Program, along with Ryan DeMeglio, who is the coordinator. Our program focuses on everything that's fun: gambling, sex, eating, drugs, alcohol, but things that can be fun and turn deadly. So if you join our program, you will get a lot of training from pharmacology all through treatment in 6 courses that are devoted to the study of addictions. And when you graduate, you will be able to get 3 credentials. In addition to your LCSW, you also will be qualified as a licensed drug and alcohol counselor once you sit for your test and fulfill the other requirements. You'll also have the education hours toward your gambling treatment certificate. We are the first school in the country to offer the gambling training. And if you work for a state agency in New Jersey, you would be able to treat gamblers even before you're licensed. So we were very proud of this program, and people come out with a lot of skills, and we're very hopeful that you would want to work with us and be in one of our many agencies across the state. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Leah. It's a really important and interesting certificate. Next, we have the Promoting Child and Adolescent Wellbeing certificate.
I'm Cassandra Simmel, and I'm an associate professor here at the School of Social Work, and I'm the director of the Certificate on Promoting Child and Adolescent Wellbeing, which we call CHAP for short. My research focuses on child maltreatment, trauma, and mental health, and I'm particularly focused on the impact of trauma on adolescents' mental health and how their resiliency can be fostered. Before I tell you more about CHAP, I just want to briefly introduce another important member of the CHAP team.
Hello, I'm Dr. Margaret O'Donoghue, and I'm the coordinator of the CHAP program. I come to Rutgers with extensive experience in school social work and supervision and in teaching. So it's a wonderful opportunity, the program, and Dr. Simmel will describe some of the main features.
Thank you, Dr. O'Donoghue. Okay, so what is CHAP? The CHAP certificate focuses broadly on infants, children, and adolescents. While we are not focused on a specific problem or topical area, we do emphasize understanding how child development is affected by numerous different issues, such as child maltreatment, mental health difficulties, developmental difficulties or disabilities, health challenges, etc. CHAP also focuses on building resilience and strengthening the environments in which children are involved. Our CHAP students are placed in a variety of child-serving systems, such as schools or healthcare settings, child welfare organizations, or they're in agencies serving juvenile justice-involved youth, youth with developmental disabilities, youth who identify as LGBTQ, and many, many more. What I like most about the CHAP certificate is that it provides students a chance to build community while they're in the MSW program with other students who have similar interests and career goals. To that end, at CHAP, we try to provide activities and workshops related to issues affecting children and adolescents, or that help CHAP students navigate field placements or assist them with their own professional development. We look forward to seeing you at our fall forums, where you can learn much more about CHAP. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Another very important certificate program. The acronym is LISTA, stands for Latino Initiatives for Service, Training, and Assessment.
Hello, my name is Elsa Candelario, and I'm representing the LISTA certificate program. As Patricia mentioned, LISTA stands for Latino Initiatives for Service, Training, and Assessment. I'm a professor of professional practice, and I'm new to the School of Social Work, although I've taught for the school for 12 years, and I'm a product of Rutgers undergraduate. For the LISTA certificate, I'm working with Dr. Ray Sanchez-Meyers and a number of other faculty. The MSW programs that can apply and enroll to this certificate include the full and part-time programs, as well as the online program. Through courses such as Social Work with Latinos and Immigrants and Refugees, our certificate students will become experts in working in a culturally aware manner with Latino communities, families, and children. Our alumni, they're in great demand because social service agencies and beyond have a strong need for bilingual, bicultural, and culturally competent professional social workers, and the need has never been higher. In addition, you'll find that there are a number of stipends and scholarships available to LISTA students, so I do hope you'll join us at our interest meeting in September, and in the interim, feel free to reach out to our team with any questions. Thank you.
Great, thank you as well. Our certificates are also interesting. I remind students these are not required. These are a benefit that you can choose to participate in. So next is one of our longest term certificates, Violence Against Women and Children.
Hello, my name is Rupa Khetrapal, and I'm the coordinator for the Violence Against Women and Children certificate program. I'm an assistant professor of teaching at the School of Social Work, and I've been here since 2015. The certificate program is an award-winning program, the first and only trauma-focused certificate offered in the specialization in the country. Through specialized coursework and very focused field placements, our certificate students develop knowledge, skills, and values in really effectively doing response work as well as prevention work in violence. We work with over 300 field agencies in the country in a variety of settings, hospitals, schools, domestic violence shelters, rape crisis centers, correctional facilities, public offices, and other settings as well. We have our presence in over 16 states in the country through our certificate students. Our alumni are engaging in clinical work, in policy and research work, as well as they are present in administrative leadership roles as well. If there's one thing that's really important about the VASI certificate program, it is the VASI community that we have built over the past 10 years. And when you are a certificate student, you become a part of this lifelong community. So I hope I will see you in the certificate forums, and please reach out to me if you have any questions. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Rupa. Okay, last but not least, we have the Aging and Health Certificate.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Lauren Snedeker, and I'm representing the MSW Certificate in Aging and Health. I'm the coordinator for the program and an assistant professor in teaching at the school. I'm also an alum. I graduated with my doctorate in social work just not too long ago. So through courses like Loss Across the Lifespan and Chronic Illness and Disability, our students will become experts in understanding the ways that aging and living with chronic health can intersect and impact human behavior. Our alumni have gone on to work in hospitals, be directors of social services, in care facilities, and in some cases have been offered jobs even before they graduate. It's important for you all to know that the aging population is growing, as you may have heard, and actually for the first time in history, there will be more older people than there are children significantly by the year 2034. So this is not the problem, but rather an opportunity for jobs and really good clinical work. So I hope you consider the certificate, and I hope to hear from you soon in the fall. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. Aging and Health is another really important certificate, and I'm so glad that Rutgers has the opportunity to offer this. Now I'd like to take the moment to introduce a really important part of our team, someone that's not usually seen by students, but this opportunity gives the chance to introduce her. So Janice, if you could unmute and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Janice Vizzeni, and I'm a project coordinator in the Office of Student Affairs. I work with all the certificate programs and monitor the certificate application process, as well as track students' progress in meeting certificate requirements. I wish you all a safe and successful semester, and I hope to see you in one of our certificate programs. Thank you.
Janice is a very important glue to keep this all together, so thank you so much. We'll be watching for applications due in the fall. There will be one joint application. You'll be able to select which program you're interested in participating in. So more information will be coming. And best wishes as you start your new year. Take care. Welcome back. Again, I'm Patricia Finley, the director of the MSW program. And as I promised, I am here with my colleagues who are representing the dual degree programs within the MSW program. So we each have a few minutes to speak, so I'm going to go through them one by one, and I'm going to start off with our MSW JD program.
Thank you. Pleasure to be with everyone today. I'd like to take a couple of minutes to very quickly introduce you to the joint JD, Juris Doctorate, Masters of Social Work program, JD MSW program at Rutgers. I'll get right to it. Why in the world would you want to do the joint JD MSW program as opposed to getting your MSW and then perhaps your JD or vice versa? It boils down to two critical components, time and money. Long story short, by doing the joint JD MSW program, you'll obtain both degrees in a total of 4 years, rather than the 5 years you'd need to pursue both full-time. What is a year? Well, a year is an enormous chunk of time out of your careers, out of your lives, and to be blunt, a lot of money saved. Is the program right for everybody? No, but you get to decide. I want to introduce you to it to enable you to check it out. There is a very specific sequence by which you would pursue either the law track initially or the social work initially. I'm not going to get into those weeds now. If you are interested, go to the website and it'll lay out in specific detail what you need to do. But here's the thing. You need to be accepted into both the MSW program, which I gather you have by virtue of sitting here, and in your first year, apply to and get accepted into either the Rutgers Law School in Newark or in Camden. Those are the requisites. Obviously, there are a lot of details and considerations. Check out the website, give a call if you don't, but it's a really unique program with a lot to commend it. So there you go. Pleasure being with you. Hope to see you.
Great, thank you so much. Let's hear about the MSW PhD program.
I'm Allison Zappe, director of the PhD program. The PhD is a research degree. We prepare our students for careers as faculty, researchers, policy analysts. Our students and faculty conduct research across a range of topics: poverty, child welfare, international issues, mental health. And we do have a combined MSW PhD program. You apply in the first year of the MSW. Deadline is January 15th. You take both MSW and PhD courses in year 2, finish out the MSW, and then start the PhD full-time in year 3. And our full-time PhD students are funded by graduate assistantships. PhD takes at least 4 or 5 years to complete. It is a competitive program. You do need the GRE, and we accept a few students each year into the combined program. Our PhD graduates hold faculty positions at universities across the country, and they hold research positions in a variety of government and nonprofit organizations. So if you have a passion for ideas, a passion for research, if you'd like to contribute to the knowledge base of social work, I'm happy to talk more about the program with you. Just email and we'll follow up with a conversation. Thanks.
Terrific, thank you so much. I'd like to hear now about one of our newer dual programs, the Masters of Social Work and the Masters of Public Policy.
Thank you so much, Patricia. And first, congratulations and welcome to Rutgers. This is a really exciting session, and I'm really pleased to be able to highlight very quickly the dual degree program between the Blaustein School of Planning and Public Policy and Rutgers School of Social Work. Like with other dual degrees, there is the advantage of completing 2 separate degrees in a shorter amount of time. So the MPP MSW program is completed within 3 years. Much like with the other degrees, you also need to apply to the Blaustein School, and I'm happy to speak with anyone interested. It's easy to get in touch with me, ahetling@rutgers.edu, send an email, we can set up a time to chat. I have been I'm associate professor at the Blaustein School right now, and have been at Rutgers for 13 years. I'm now the program director for the public policy program. I'm entering into my 2nd term, and when I stepped into my 1st term, one of my primary goals was to get this dual degree program going. My background is in public policy. I have a PhD in policy, but I've also spent a lot of time at schools of social work doing research and collaborate with many colleagues at social work. And I'm very excited about this new program through classes like public policy formation, the economics of public policy, complementing your MSW studies. It really provides a strong foundation in policy analysis and opens up more career paths in both the nonprofit and public sector at the state and federal level. And I'd be really happy to speak with anyone interested in pursuing the dual degree or even just taking a class over at Blaustein. So thanks again, Patricia.
Great, thank you so much. And now I'd like to hear from our newest program that's coming on in fall of 2021, the Masters in Social Work and Masters of Public Health.
Hi everyone, I'm Perry Halkitis. I'm the Dean of the School of Public Health, and welcome to Rutgers. I'm extremely happy to be here with you today to talk a little bit about the MSW MPH. And let me start by saying that the basic underpinnings of this program are that individuals and their health are affected by a variety of factors, and that people are members of populations. So by developing the clinical skills of a social worker and the public health skills of a public health person, you combine them to understand how the intersection of people and populations happen, that we can affect change and we can affect health by doing clinical interventions one-on-one, but we can do population level interventions. And like all of the programs you've heard about so far, this is an opportunity to combine 2 degrees to do it in a shorter amount of time. The Rutgers School of Public Health and the Rutgers School of Social Work forged their efforts in the last 2 years to develop this MSW MPH, which is one of the most popular dual degree programs in the country. Students in this program develop advanced knowledge and skills in interrelated areas of public health and social welfare using an interdisciplinary approach to prevention, addressing and solving health problems at the macro, individual, meso, and macro levels. Coursework from both social work and school, and of course in the School of Public Health, and interested applicants in this degree program must apply separately to each school. After graduating, MSW MPH graduates can have a variety of career opportunities available to them, effectively using their multidisciplinary skills and training to serve as program directors, community service providers in a variety of fields, and in our areas of specialty at the School of Public Health, which are women and child's health, LGBTQ+ health, violence prevention, substance use and mental health, health reform and access, HIV, TB, and other infectious diseases, and the list goes on. We are thrilled to be making this program available. It was, when I first came to the school, it was only 4 years ago. It was one of the things that I felt like we really needed. And thanks to the efforts of our colleagues in the School of Social Work, we've been able to put this forward. So the dual degree, let me just wrap up and say, combines 2 fields that have a long interrelated history, developing well-trained and agile professionals. MSW MPH students are taught to approach problems from an epidemiological and social perspective, developing the skills necessary to be adept in both prevention and intervention. And this dual degree program provides students with the opportunity to earn 2 graduate degrees in a short amount of time. This is the only MSW MPH in the state of New Jersey. If you have any questions about the program, please reach out to the School of Social Work or to the Director of Admissions and Recruitment at the School of Public Health, Kamal Kornegay. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Halkitis. The MSW MPH dual degree seems very timely right now. I know many of you have been working over the summer as contact tracers, and I know several of you are also in public health informed field placements for the fall. This might be the perfect time for you to consider a dual degree program. Whereas I did mention that the program starts in fall of 2021, we are accepting applications to start in January of 2021. So if you're interested, please speak with your advisor as soon as possible. I thank you for your interest in any of the degree programs. I realize that not all students in all formats are able to take this opportunity. But we here at Rutgers have so many different opportunities, and we really want to make sure that you are aware that this is available. So I wish you the very best as you start your program. Take care.
Thank you, Dr. Finley, and the Certificate and Special Programs faculty as well. There are so many questions about our certificates and special programs, but most of this information is on the website, and we also will be hosting special sessions, forums, and we will make sure that you are aware of those in the next few weeks. So be watching for your emails on a regular basis to learn more. It's a little difficult to explain the details of a dual degree program in the chat box, but we're really happy to see so many questions from all of you. Now we're going to shift gears just a little bit, and it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Antoinette Farmer, who is Professor and Associate Dean for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion here at the School of Social Work, where she teaches clinical assessment and diagnosis and research too. Her research focuses on examining the factors that affect parenting behaviors, the effects of parenting on adolescent high-risk behaviors, and research methods that are appropriate for conducting research with diverse groups. Dr. Farmer?
Good morning, everyone. And thank you, Arlene, for that lovely introduction. My name is Dr. Antoinette Farmer, and I am the Associate Dean for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at the School of Social Work. At this time in the history of Rutgers School of Social Work, the Social Dean for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion position is being created to underscore the school's continued commitment to having diverse and inclusive educational and work environments that allow diversity to thrive in its various forms. The creation of this position goes beyond merely noting the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion in our mission statement, but brings it to the forefront of our collective consciousness. In my role, I will be responsible for leading the school's initiatives around diversity, equity, and inclusion, sharing and facilitating the work of the Inclusion, Intersectionality, Diversity, Equity, and Advancement Committee, which will be composed of faculty, students, and staff. And I also will be leading the school's initiative in developing and implementing a diversity, equity, and inclusion strategic plan. So this year, I have adopted as my motto, change paves the pathway, courage paves the pathway towards change. I'll say it again. Courage paves the pathway towards change. I hope you too will adopt this as your motto, that courage paves the pathway towards change, as we partner together to advance the efforts of diversity, equity, and inclusion within the school, within your field settings, within the communities in which you reside, and in the society at large. I wish all of you have a productive and successful semester.
Courage paves the pathway to change. I wrote that down. I hope many of you did as well. Thank you, Dr. Farmer. Students are going to have the opportunity to learn more about your very important new position and the related goals of the school throughout the academic year. We'll be sure to keep the students posted. Thank you, Dr. Farmer. Now it is time to hear from the National Association of Social Workers, NASW, the New Jersey chapter. The NASW is your professional organization, and we believe it is advantageous for you to become familiar with NASW while you are a student. Jennifer Thompson serves as Executive Director of the New Jersey chapter. As an experienced social worker, Ms. Thompson, among many other roles, has served as a senior advisor to New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg on a number of citywide initiatives, including homeless services, affordable housing, transportation, and infrastructure. Ms. Thompson is passionate about advocating for social workers in both traditional and non-traditional roles throughout New Jersey, and she is a very good friend to the Rutgers School of Social Work. Please welcome Jennifer Thompson.
Thank you so much. This is incredibly strange. I get to speak to students and faculty every year, and it's one of my favorite things to do. But this year I'm scrolling through 53 pages of Zoom screens to see all your faces. But nonetheless, I'm really excited to be here. This is certainly my favorite time of year because I first connected with NASW when I was in your shoes as a student. And every year I have the opportunity to talk with you about what NASW means, why it's important to join. And every year I think, goodness, I've never been more proud of us. Last year when I joined the orientation, I had just arrived back from the US-Mexico border where we led an envoy of social workers who worked in the detention centers with refugees seeking asylum. And I shared how being a part of our association was more than just test prep at our chapter, which we offer, and networking, which we offer. But I shared that as a member of our association, you're part of something larger than yourself. And last year I thought, this is absolutely the best we do. This is why you join our association. And then 2020 happened, and I stand corrected. NASW New Jersey is the second largest chapter of social workers in our country, and that's incredibly powerful. Right here, right now, you are joining second only to California, whom is much larger than us, the largest group of organized social workers. And we are really doing incredible things. Last year, after leading 2 successful trips to the US-Mexico border, COVID arrived. And as a community, we didn't cower. Here in New Jersey, we really came together and we rose. We were the first state in the nation to move our social work conference to 100% virtual in April. Many of you on this call joined us. It brought together thousands of social workers, showing just how savvy and nimble we are here in New Jersey. During COVID, we immediately started offering free online programs that many students joined, supplementing field hours when you couldn't join your field in person. And those programs were the start of what is now our field program as a chapter, which is an opportunity for you to come together, participate in programs that can be used to supplement those field hours, and give you certificates in areas like telehealth and advanced care planning. As a student member of MSW New Jersey, you get those for free now. Immediately after the murder of George Floyd, our community in New Jersey rallied again. We are the first and only state in the country from NASW to develop a race responsibility and reconciliation series, which is a blend of online courses, discussions, community conversations, and a lot of advocacy work. It's our commitment to intentionally keeping sight of our role in addressing racism in our profession, in our training, in our communities. And we created and led the first National Virtual Advocacy Day on police reform, where thousands of students and professionals called our elected officials from city, state, and federal and demanded police reform. We also expanded our shared interest groups, where we previously had interest groups for private practitioners. We now have groups for macro social workers, healthcare, school social workers, criminal justice, and a newly formed shared interest group for Black social workers. These dedicated spaces give you a chance to connect more intentionally with leaders in your area, to learn, grow, and really moreover network with one another. We've been hosting a series of international calls and community conversations. We've spoken with the International Federation of Social Workers on our work here in New Jersey on COVID and telehealth, and certainly around our work in technology. We've had calls with 5,000 people from all over the world, and it's been really remarkable and a fun way to come together as a profession. We also advocated recently with the New Jersey Board of Social Work Examiners. They're the ones who issue your licenses. We fought and were able to get temporary licensing for new graduates during COVID. And together we launched and developed a virtual advocacy campaign geared towards the Association of Social Work Boards. They are the ones who do your testing as a profession, calling them to switch to online testing during COVID. The campaign was phenomenal. In just 1 hour of being live here in New Jersey, it garnered over 800 emails to the ASWB, put pressure on the National Association to issue a letter asking them to move online. And while there's no resolution, it's certainly safe to say that here in New Jersey, we'll continue to fight for the issues that are important to you. And all of this took place since April of this year. In just 6 short months, our community has done things that last year I never dreamed possible. And this year, that's why I've never been more proud to be a part of this group, and why I hope that when you walk away from today's conversation, you understand that when you pay your $60 registration fee, that you're not just becoming a member of an association, that you're becoming part of something larger, something bigger than yourself, a movement, both professional and civic, and that you're part of a group of social workers leading the nation, and in many instances, we're really leading the world from our backyard. I invite you all to join us today in this critical work. You can register at naswnj.org. You'll click join today. You're online. You can do it right now while everyone's talking. I'll put the link in the chat box. And you'll get a call from us. If you register this week, you'll get a call next week from someone on our team helping you connect with the groups, the shared interest groups, the advocacy work, all of the things that you might be interested in. And before I turn myself on mute and continue to watch today's presentation, I just really want to thank you all for letting me be here. You are the future leaders. It's an incredible time to be a social worker. There is so much work to be done. And I am just absolutely positive that you are going to find joy and challenge and value in your work. I am a lifelong social worker. I have my BSW and my MSW, And I am continually inspired and challenged by our profession and you, the next generation of social workers. So thank you for letting us join you. I'll put the information in the chat box, and you are certainly welcome to reach out to me if you have any questions. Thanks for letting us join.
Thank you, Jennifer, for being with us today. It's always a pleasure to have you and to have you with us and speak with our students. And we do partner many times throughout the year with NASW New Jersey for student events. So I'm sure this isn't the last time you'll see Jennifer during your time in the program. So I'm here to introduce our Graduate Student Association. I am the faculty advisor, Marian Dixis. I'm a faculty member here at the school. I'm an associate professor of teaching, and I'm also the faculty advisor for our Graduate Student Association. And we do have a short video to let you meet all of our student representatives this year. But before that, I wanted to introduce live with us today, Koi Nug, who is the treasurer for the Graduate Student Association. And this is his second year on the council of the Graduate Student Association. And we also have with us Rebecca Seaman, who is the New Brunswick campus representative with us. And they're both going to share with you a little bit about the Student Association, which you automatically are all a part of, and ways to connect and engage with them this year. So thank you, Rebecca and Koi. You can go ahead and unmute yourselves and speak with us.
Hi, good morning. My name is Koi. As Marian mentioned, I am the treasurer for the incoming Graduate Student Association. As a treasurer for the organization, I kind of tend to the back end of a lot of things, so finances. But not only am I the treasurer, but obviously I'm also a member of the executive board, so I am a part of the decision making for all of our events and activities. As for me, I am a part-time student. I'm entering my second of my 4-year track. I'm looking to get into the clinical specialization, and I'm also a part of the ACT certificate program, the Addiction Counselor Training Certificate Program. My field placement this year will be at Camden County Correctional Facility, and my interests are substance abuse within the correctional setting. So welcome to all the students. I wish to some of you guys will be my future colleagues. If not, then I'll see you anytime I work with you. And just last piece of advice, I know everyone is interested in clinical or management and policy, but please remember, you'll hear macro, meso, and micro throughout the school. But please know that whatever route you choose, you're going to be working with all parts of a specialization in one way, shape, or form, whether you're doing clinical therapy in a micro setting or you do management policy as an administrator or as a policymaker. So welcome you all, and I wish to see some of you guys. And we have a short video, like Marian said. Since I wasn't a part of the video, I decided to introduce myself live. But I'm going to hand it off to Rebecca Seaman. She's our New Brunswick representative. Thanks. Bye.
Hey everybody, my name is Rebecca Seaman. I'm the New Brunswick campus representative for the GSA, and I just wanted to welcome you to the Rutgers MSW program. It's a great program. You're going to love everything that you experience, your field placement, your classes. It's going to be really challenging, but it's also going to be really rewarding. So I already introduced myself in the video, so I don't want to be too repetitive. So I think I'm just going to pass it along to that. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, especially if you're in New Brunswick, because I'm the campus representative there.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the GSA. As a first-year student, you're all automatically members, and we are on the board, and we wanted to introduce ourselves since some of us couldn't be there live with you today. So my name is Leah Cunningham. I'm one of the co-chairs, and I am currently placed at the North Jersey Community Research Initiative for my field placement this year. And my responsibilities as co-chair are sort of to be kind of a cheerleader for the team and kind of direct the apparel and the calendar and all of the fun stuff that we'll be doing this year. So welcome everyone, and I would like to pass it along to Kiera.
Hi everybody, my name's Kiera. I am the secretary of the GSA, and my responsibilities include taking down the minutes that happen at the meetings as well as attending every meeting. Currently, I am on the clinical track for my second year. I am working out the kinks for my field placement, and for future purposes, I want to work with children, adolescents, and their families, specifically in an urban setting.
Okay, Kadir, would you like to introduce yourself?
Okay, hello guys. My name is Kadir Williams, and I'm the communications representative. The Rutgers Graduate School of Social Work. There's 3 ways of communicating, including an email. There's an Instagram page and a Facebook group. I currently do not have a field placement as of right now, but I'm working on that. And as terms in the future, I want to work with kids who have mental health issues, and yeah.
Great, thank you, Kadir. Becca?
Hi everyone, my name is Rebecca Seaman. I'm the New Brunswick campus representative for the Rutgers University School of Social Work, GSA. Basically, my position is just to be a campus liaison for the New Brunswick campus. So if you have any questions about events going on in that area, you can always reach out to me or anyone else on the board. I am in the MAP track, and my current placement is at the Institute for Families at Rutgers. And my professional interests include working with children and adolescents, as well as their families in more of a macro policy-based setting.
Thank you. Vimy?
Hi everyone, my name is Vimy, and I'm the non-traditional representative for Rutgers Masters in Social Work. My responsibilities include representing the non-traditional MSW students, which includes part-time, online, blended, and weekend intensive programs. My responsibility also includes to understand the needs of students and connect them and engage them in the program. So if you have any questions or concerns related to the program, or if you are interested in doing a particular event or covering a particular topic, you can always reach out to me. And my professional interests is I'm currently working with the South Asian Domestic Violence Agency, and in future, I want to work in the judicial and the court system.
Great, thank you, Vinny. So Becca's going to tell us about open positions on the board.
Yeah, so we have a couple open positions right now. Those are for first year representative, Camden representative, and Newark representative. Now, since I think all of you would be first year students, the only position you could apply for would be the first year representative. And there will be an email going out about that where you can nominate yourself or someone else. So keep an eye out for that email, and there will also be an election that goes after that, but there will be more information to follow.
Okay. One of the questions we get the most is, how can I get a t-shirt or a hoodie? So as you might understand, that's been a bit of a challenge during COVID. So we as a group are working with our faculty advisor and some other school representatives to come up with some creative ways to get apparel designed and out to you this year. So, and we will, as a group, choose a charity to donate our proceeds to. So once we get all of that worked out, we will send out a communication via email and via social media as to how to get apparel. And so next up, we are going to have Kiera talk a little bit about our first event.
Okay, guys, so our first event that we have planned is 10 ways to be successful in the MSW program. Due to us having a remote semester, I think that this program will be really beneficial to everyone to figure out how to balance field placement, classes. And if you are also working or have any other responsibilities on your end, this program will be really helpful to help you figure out ways to guide smoothly through the program. We will keep you posted when we have a date lined up for that program.
Great. And in conclusion, Vimi's going to remind us about all of the ways you can contact us.
Yes, so I would like to welcome the new incoming students again. And there are 3 ways to contact. One of them is email, rutgerssswsa@gmail.com. That's the email address. Our Instagram page is russw_GSA. And Facebook page is Rutgers School of Social Work Graduate Student Association. So there are 3 ways you can always connect us.
Thank you, everyone, and have a great first day of being at Rutgers. Bye.
Thank you to the Student Association members. They're all continuing students. We really appreciate them taking time from their summer. They recorded that a couple of weeks ago, and it's a really wonderful organization. I hope that you consider running for the first year student rep position, or you certainly want to go. I want to go to the session about 10 ways to be most successful in grad school. You all definitely want to get one of their t-shirts or hoodies. I know I have a couple myself. Many of the faculty and staff do. The best thing about seeing the students, the student leaders, is that these are real live continuing students who were sitting where you are last year, and they survived, they made it. In fact, it looks like they have all thrived very well. So thank you very much for that presentation. We want to let you know about another School of Social Work Student Association. Dr. Michael Lasalla serves as the school as the director of the DSW program, the Doctorate Social Program, and he's also the faculty advisor to Swagger. Here to explain what Swagger is Dr. Michael Lasalla. Dr. Lasalla?
Hello, thank you for that nice introduction. And I want you also all to meet Tasty. One of the silver linings of online education is that all of the classes are pet friendly, right? So there you go. As Arlene Hunter has said, I am a faculty member here at the School of Social Work, and I also am a director of the DSW program. Now that stands for Doctorate in Social Work program. Now, in order to, I won't see you in my classrooms for quite a while, because in order to be a student in the DSW program, you have to have your MSW as well as at least 2 years of experience post-MSW. But as Arlene has said, I'm here to talk to you about my role as faculty advisor to Swagger. Now, Swagger is a subgroup of the graduate student organization that we just heard from. And Swagger is a mouthful of an acronym that stands for Social Workers Advocating for GLBT and Gender Nonconforming Equal Rights. I even have to have a little bit of a cheat sheet here. But anyway, this group consists of social work students and sometimes faculty who are LGBT or allies. We meet several times during the year and we have several different purposes. One is networking, so we can all provide support to each other about what it's like to be an LGBT or allied social work student in field, in the profession, in class, etc. We also put on several educational programs throughout the year. And in the past, we've sponsored panels on bisexuality, transgender health. We've also shown films and sponsored and led discussions, films that include Moonlight, as well as last year we featured Paris is Burning. This year, we have a big project. We're going to be working with the committee that Dr. Farmer is heading, and she just spoke about, the Diversity Committee. And we're going to be working with them and collaborating with them to put on a Transgender Day of Remembrance. So, so we welcome all of you to come to our meetings. Our first meeting is September 18th at 5:30. Keep an eye on your emails for Zoom information as well as reminders. And we look forward to having you all there. Again, I want to finish up with welcoming you into, what I think is the world's best profession. We are needed now more than ever. It's delightful to see all your smiling faces, and hope to see you at Swagger meetings. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lasalla. It was good to see Tasty too. I think Tasty was napping.
He was, yeah.
So yes, you will receive emails from Student Affairs about when Swagger meets with all of the contact information, and they're an important student organization here at the school. We have a new organization this year, and it's also a very important one. Dr. Dwayne Battle is an associate professor of teaching and director of the baccalaureate program here at the school, and course coordinator of the course Diversity and Oppression. Dr. Battle wants to talk with you today about a new student organization. Dr. Battle?
Thank you, Dean Hunter, for that introduction. I want to offer my own sincere welcome to all of you, our new incoming MSW students. As Dean Hunter mentioned, I am an associate professor, program director, and course coordinator for the Diversity and Oppression course, which all of you are required to take, and many of you will be taking this semester, in the fall 2020 semester. I also want you to know that I was a Rutgers MSW student 27 years ago. In addition, I completed my PhD in social work here at Rutgers and was given the opportunity to join the faculty. I'm telling you this because I want you to know that I am all in when it comes to the Rutgers School of Social Work. I need you to know that the most important part of my time here at Rutgers has been my interaction with students, first as a classmate, and now in my role as a member of the faculty. I am student-centered, strengths-based, and solution-focused. I've been the faculty advisor for 5 student groups, and today I have been asked to speak to you about a new student organization. Noted sociologist Dr. C. Eric Lincoln wrote a book entitled Race, Religion, and the Continuing American Dilemma. And Dr. Cornel West, known as a social critic and public intellectual, wrote a book simply and profoundly identified as Race Matters. Indeed, race matters, and anti-Black racism is the continuing American dilemma. We've seen this recently with the racial disparities related to COVID-19 and the systemic anti-Black racism surrounding police brutality and the shooting deaths of unarmed Black men and women, such as Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and George Floyd. Several months ago, faculty and students came together here at Rutgers School of Social Work for a series of Black Lives Matter student forums to express our frustration, share our thoughts and feelings, and chart a path forward as we take a definitive stand against racism. Many students expressed a desire to continue these discussions and establish a Black Lives Matter student group. And I have agreed to serve along with another colleague as a faculty advisor for this very important new student organization. In the coming days and weeks, you will hear more about this organization, and I encourage you to get involved. Please get involved. Let's make this moment count. Together, let's take a stand against racism. Why? Because Black lives matter. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Battle. Thank you very much. I'm not surprised. It looks like you already have your own fan club. It's hard to keep up with the chats, but it looks like you, among many other of your colleagues, are already well known by many of our students. And I'm glad that people are aware of and appreciate your commitment to this very important topic. We'll make sure that we get the students information about how they may join and participate in the Black Lives Matter student organization. Thanks, Dr. Battle. Now, on to another very timely, important topic, voting. Social workers know all about the importance of voting, and we want to make sure that you are an expert about the voting process and details this year. We are happy to once again welcome Dawn Clark to our orientation. As a Rutgers School social work alum, proud member of the class of 1968, and a lifelong social worker and member of the League of Women Voters, we can't think of anyone better than Dawn to talk about voter registration. However, unfortunately, Dawn could not be here in person today, but she sends her very best wishes and good luck to all of you. And she also sent us this video to show.
Hi, my name is Dawn Clark. I'm honored to be a graduate of the Rutgers Graduate School of Social Work, class of '68. I also brought my social work training to life as well as to my work. For many years, as the Vice President for Voter Service in the League of Women Voters of New Jersey, I have actively volunteered to increase voter rights and participation. I feel strongly that social workers should arm themselves with sound, reliable information so they can advocate for voting rights. I know you all believe this too, but I just want to reinforce it for you. I'd like to do two things today. First, provide you with information to ensure that you personally are registered and can then vote by mail in the November general election. But importantly, second, I want to provide reliable information and the resources to build your capacity to advocate effectively for voting rights among family, friends, clients, and community. You can find everything you need to know about voting and elections in the New Jersey Voter Information Portal. It is the source for all New Jersey election information. You can check to see if you are registered or not. You can download a voter registration form, or you can watch a video on how to vote by mail. Important, though, in New Jersey is that as of March 2020, those who have been incarcerated and returned to the community can, in fact, re-register to vote. You have to re-register to vote if you've changed your address or if you have changed your name. It is important to re-register. Now, what's new in the New Jersey general election as a result of the COVID-19 and response? The governor has enacted several things to address this current state of emergency. First, really grand, online voter registration. Online voter registration will be available on September 4th, 2020. The deadline to register to vote is October 13th. Other important information: automatic vote by mail. This election will be conducted primarily via vote by mail ballots, which will be sent to all active registered voters without the need for an application to receive a vote by mail ballot. All ballots will have prepaid postage. Get ready to go. I know that this is a lot of information when you are so busy, but we need to make sure your good social work knowledge and skills are available to those in need at this time. Who knows, you may be able to engage in random acts of advocacy just because you know the information. I do want you to stay tuned into the voter information portal so that you can keep up with all that's changing and important in voter rights advocacy. I want to wish you the very best in your endeavors in the graduate school. I hope you find your time here as rewarding as I found my time in the graduate school. And I hope you enjoy social work as much as I have enjoyed social work. It's a good calling. I wish you well in your endeavors. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Dawn. She was so disappointed that she couldn't be here live this morning. She sends her best wishes. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope it further motivates you to make sure that you registered and to vote for the candidates of your choice in November. And again, we so appreciate Dawn's commitment to voting rights and to the School of Social Work. She's among one of our more loyal alums. So check our website for some of the links and resources Dawn mentioned in her presentation. Now, I am very excited to move on to really, truly one of the highlights of the morning. I have the honor of introducing the school's outstanding and deeply and really wonderful people, committed faculty. Not only are their backgrounds diverse and interesting, but their research interests range from child well-being to addiction studies, to mental health, to global social work, and well beyond. You will get to know, learn from, and work with many of these faculty. They are very excited to meet you soon in the faculty-student discussion groups and in the classrooms, and this is your first chance to meet them. really hope you enjoyed the faculty-student discussions. The faculty love doing this. Faculty like being faculty because they enjoy interaction with students. They really enjoy teaching. If they didn't enjoy teaching, there are a number of other opportunities, other options, other things they could choose to do instead of be in the classroom. But I hope you sense today, got a good feeling for how much they love interacting with students and the entire educational experience. And I also wanted to mention that it's important to note that faculty learn from you and as well, and you will be learning from each other. And I don't remember which one of the academic leaders said today, but it's very true. I think maybe it was Dr. Finley. The diversity in the classroom really, so if you're fresh out of college and haven't worked as a social worker, you may think, well, what am I going to contribute? You will bring perspective that's very different than, say, someone who's been working in the field for 5, 8, 10, 15 years and has returned to the classroom to earn their MSW. They are going to bring something more and different. So it's really amazing what the classrooms will be like. And I'm a believer now in online education. Maybe a few years ago I wasn't, but we do find there's an incredible amount of high quality learning that can happen in a virtual classroom. And since that's how it's going to be this fall semester, make sure that you're as prepared as possible so you can get the most out of the virtual experience. If you have any questions, what's the difference between asynchronistic and synchronistic? Your advisor will have a chance to go over that with you in just a few minutes. So here is my section of the program is called Countdown to Classes. And I want to give you some tips and notes. I've been working here at the School of Social Work for 17 years. And I am a person that deals with students who are struggling, not doing well, have to take some time away, need to come back for a variety of reasons. And the Student Affairs staff is on with us today. And if they could take a moment and just wave to students so they can see your faces. I've got a great team that works with me, works to support me, works to support the advisors. So it's our job to assist you. But if you run into trouble, I'm the person who you'll probably get an email from, have a phone call with, and when things get hopefully back to normal, have a meeting with. And I want to kind of tell you why students run into trouble so that you can make a note of this and avoid those things. Students may not do well academically, not because they're not well prepared or that the admissions office made a mistake. We don't believe that. We chose you, admissions office, accepted you because we believe you have the academic credentials and previous success to do well. We know you can complete the program. Here's why people falter, stumble, take more time than they wanted to complete the degree. Because chances are they don't stay connected and engaged, most of all with their faculty. So, and the remote virtual business makes it a lot more difficult, but not impossible at all. You have to make an effort to stay connected with your faculty member. So you try very hard to show up in class and be prepared as possible. But let's say the first paper is late or the first assignment is a few days late. So now you may be embarrassed. Now you're not talking with your faculty member. You're not interacting with them in Canvas. Maybe they try to reach out to you. Hi, Arlene, are you still there? What's happening? And you may say, okay, I just need a weekend to catch up and then I'll re-engage. Make sure that you don't allow yourself to start drifting away from your faculty, because we know that that's the first clear red flag that you may be headed for trouble. Ask for assistance before you need it or as soon as you know you need it. Let's say you're behind in a paper or you didn't do well in your first assignment because you need some more guidance about APA writing. Ask your advisor for resources as soon as you know you need it. Don't wait for Thanksgiving. Don't wait till the end of the semester to see how you do, because we have a strict policy. If you don't get a 3.0 or if you fail a required course, and most of the courses you're taking this semester are required, then we actually automatically dismiss you. It's strict, it's rigid, it's harsh, and you have to go through a grievance procedure, an appeal procedure, excuse me, to have the opportunity to try again. So ask for assistance and help and resources as soon as you start to go under the first time, not the second or third time. And we find that people who do reach out and say, hey, I need help here, tend to be more successful. So stay connected and engaged with your faculty members. Stay connected and engaged with your academic advisor. The academic advisors don't have to be advisors. They want to be because they love working with students and supporting students. They're on your side. We all want the same thing you do. We really do. We want you to be successful, get the degree in the time that you want to get the degree, whether it's 2 or 3 or 4 years, and move on. So make sure you ask your advisor for help. Now, you're not going to email your advisor 5 times a day or expect her to get back to you on Sunday morning. You're going to be professional about it when you email them, possibly call them, but they are there to assist you. At the same time, you are an adult professional student. We expect you to take care of your bills, your loans, your registration, but at the same time, we admit that college life, especially now, can be very confusing. Rutgers is a very, very big, complicated place. So email student affairs. I've contacted financial aid. They're not getting back to me. They don't seem to understand my issue. Try to get the name of the contact that you were working with. That makes it easier for the staff to track down, try to troubleshoot and help you. We do expect you to give it a good shot, a good try, but if you have trouble, make sure you ask for help. Again, don't wait until you're so frustrated you want to scream. Don't wait until you're in really big trouble before you ask for help. You've got to check your email more than any other semester. You've got to check your Rutgers email. You've got to make sure that your Rutgers email is working. All summer, I've been sending you emails to a couple of different email addresses, the one that you applied to. Now we've shifted over to Rutgers email, but I've been sending it to 2 email addresses just to make sure you get it. Now that you're going to matriculate next semester, start classes, I'm only going to use your Rutgers email. So you've got to make sure that it's working. If you have trouble with it, email student affairs and our experts will help you figure it out, get you connected with the IT computer help desk if you need help. But you've got to check your Rutgers email. Unfortunately, once in a while, you have to check your spam and junk mail. We all do. Sometimes the president of the university's emails to me go in my junk mail. I don't know why, but you've got to check it once in a while. We need you to take care of yourself. Self-care was mentioned earlier today. This is a challenging program. Many of you have children and you don't know whether they're going to be in school in a couple of weeks or not. There's a lot going on. Many of you are caretakers. You've got this, and this is not an easy program. We know that. You're going to come in touch with and read about and be subjected to a lot of material. It's very tough. You've got to make sure you take care of yourself. I'm not your mom. I'm not even your grandmother or big sister, but we do know that you need to make sure that you sleep. Make sure that you get the rest that you need. Take advantage of the university counseling services. Many of our students do. If you need some kind of disability accommodations, don't wait until Thanksgiving to ask. If you haven't already asked, get in touch with the disability services right away and get some accommodations in place in case you need them. Check your Rutgers email. I say that all the time. I'm obnoxious about it. Be patient with yourself. It's a lot, and the world is dealing with a lot. We're gonna have to be more patient than ever with each other, with ourselves. And please be patient with us. We are trying our best to manage a world that we have not managed before. All of us are here. We love working with students, and to be disconnected from students, not being able to reach out and talk with you and actually see you, to give you our support. We're not even be able to connect in person as a staff for so long. So be patient with us as we try to figure out brand new ways of doing things, including this virtual orientation this morning. But above all, be positive, because we are positive. Again, admissions office chose well. We believe, we know you can do this. So if you run into moments of confusion or feeling overwhelmed, you don't know what that woman said, where do I find that out? Ask us. It's okay to feel disoriented. That's normal. It's okay to feel overwhelmed. That's normal too, but we're all here to help you. So definitely ask us for assistance, but we know you can do it. And we have an excellent graduation rate, and we expect you to keep adding to that excellent graduation rate. So you have heard all morning long about Rutgers, 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 School of Social Work. And now I have the opportunity, if the IT team is ready, to tell you a little bit about your new classmates and our new class. And I have a couple of slides. Are we ready for those, IT team? You guys gonna show my slides?
I don't have slides from her. Do you have slides?
Countdown to classes.
Arlene, where did you store these?
Madison has them. Talking about patience with ourselves, thought we were ready to go with this, but that's okay.
Nothing about
I will just tell you verbally. And I can
yeah,
send,
we're kind of modeling how we're going to be together.
And I can send these to you guys, and so that you have this information. Well, first of all, I wanted to let you know that there are about 507 new fall students. And you are going to join more than about 1,100, 1,200 continuing students. So we are one of the biggest schools of social work in the country. And depending on what year, we may be the biggest. So that means that there's a lot of advantages to be part of one of the largest schools of social work. You're broken up in different programs, and roughly the visual works better, but we don't have that yet. So 15% of you chose the intensive weekend program. 14% of you are in the blended program. 15% of you are online, 13% in Newark, 11% in Camden, and the traditional New Brunswick campus program is our most populated, and 31% of you are going to be taking classes in the New Brunswick campus. By some more information, we're really proud of the diversity of our students, and you all saw the pictures, diverse in so many ways, and thanks for sending in the pictures. They were really great to meet you guys through the pictures. We reflect our population, our student population reflects the demographics of New Jersey, and we are very proud of that and very committed to that, as it should. Social workers work with everybody and every group in our community. 5% of you told us that you are Asian. 20% of you have told us that you are Black, African American. 19% of you have told us that you're Latino. 6% Puerto Rican. 3% of you self-reported that you are biracial or multiracial. 48% of you said that you were white. We also had 2 Native Hawaiian students this year, which is not a first for us, but it certainly is a pleasure to welcome those students. We also have a number of international students, not a huge number, but we do have a number of international students. And of course, they bring a very different perspective of social work to the classroom. And I like to also mention age, because so many of our students are like, I'm too old to do this program, and you're not. So I like to, and the visual is fun, but I like to tell you that there was, the median age in our program is 34 years old. You know what we don't have is the gender. That was left out. Let me tell you about the gender first. And you probably won't be surprised that about 88% of you report to us that you are female. And that means to me that we just make sure we need to get more men in the program, because it's important that we have more males social workers. Back to age. So their median age is 34 years old. 70% of you were born in the 1990s. It's a young group, but 18% of you were born in the 80s. You can figure out, do the math. 8% of you were born in the 1970s. 4% of you were born in the 1960s, and we have one student who hails from the 50s. So you are not too old, and very, very soon when you get into your classrooms, you will find people that you can relate to and connect to. So hopefully you will not feel alone as you start this big adventure. And then I also like to tell you about how diverse you are as far as education goes too. We have students that went to almost every state university in the country. We have students that, and many of you go out of state, go out of New Jersey to go to undergrad. We have students from Alfred, American, Bard, Boston College, Boston University, Stroudsburg, Fairleigh Dickinson, of course, Fordham, but Ithaca, Johns Hopkins, Marist, Mercy, Norfolk State, Northern Caribbean, Oberlin, Quinnipiac, Seattle Pacific, Stockton, Syracuse, Seton Hall, Temple, Tulane, Towson, Williams, Widener, University of Ghana. But we do have, and I wish you could unmute yourselves, but let's have a show of support and wave to shout out to the people who did their undergrad at Rutgers. Yes, we have a lot of people who did undergrad at Rutgers who are back, and we're very happy you chose Rutgers again. Okay, so that's a little bit about who you are. I'm sorry you didn't see the graphics, but I tried to give you the gist of it.